Released in 2001, Sonic Adventure 2 was a landmark 3D platformer for Sega's Dreamcast, marking the 10th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. The game features two storylines, Hero and Dark, where players can choose to play as iconic characters like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles on the hero side, or Shadow, Dr. Eggman, and Rouge on the dark side. The gameplay alternates between high-speed platforming, mech-based combat, and treasure hunting missions, depending on the character. A key highlight of the game is the introduction of Shadow the Hedgehog, a major figure in the Sonic series, and the return of the beloved Chow Garden, a virtual pet system where players can raise and train creatures called Chow. The game's fast-paced action, memorable soundtrack, including the iconic Live and Learn, and varied gameplay styles made it a fan favorite. Despite being one of the last major releases for the Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 2 has remained a beloved entry in the franchise, with a remastered version released later for other platforms. The development of Sonic Adventure 2 was an ambitious project for Sega and Sonic Team, as they sought to create a 3D platformer that pushed the limits of the Dreamcast hardware while marking Sonic's 10th anniversary. The game was developed by Sonic Team USA, based in San Francisco. This was part of Sega's strategy to appeal to a Western audience as the Dreamcast struggled to gain traction in markets like North America and Europe. The team wanted Sonic Adventure 2 to build on the success of Sonic Adventure, but with a greater emphasis on speed, streamlined gameplay, and improved visuals. The aim was to create a fast-paced, action-oriented experience with a more cohesive narrative, splitting the story between the hero and dark sides to give players different perspectives. The Dreamcast was a powerful console for its time, but the team faced challenges with memory limitations and processing power. The large, detailed levels had to be optimized to maintain the fast-paced gameplay and high frame rates. Sonic Adventure 2 also introduced more dynamic camera controls and smoother character animations, improving on some of the issues players had with Sonic Adventure's camera system. The development of Sonic Adventure 2 was not without its challenges. As Sonic Team aimed to refine the 3D platforming experience and maximize the potential of the Dreamcast, they encountered several obstacles. The Dreamcast's memory was limited, which created challenges in developing large, detailed levels while maintaining fast-paced gameplay. Since Sonic Adventure 2 featured larger environments and a mix of different gameplay styles, speed, combat, and treasure hunting, optimization became crucial. Achieving a consistent frame rate in a game that emphasized speed, especially in Sonic and Shadow stages, was a significant technical hurdle. The developers had to carefully balance level design, enemy placement, and environmental details to ensure smooth gameplay without overloading the system. The development of Sonic Adventure 2 had to align with Sonic's 10th anniversary, which put the team under considerable time pressure. They had to deliver a polished product in time for the release date while also addressing the shortcomings of Sonic Adventure. This accelerated timeline sometimes led to compromises in certain areas, such as polishing the camera mechanics and perfecting all aspects of gameplay, particularly in the slower-paced sections. Sonic Adventure 2 was developed during a turbulent time for Sega, as the Dreamcast was struggling commercially in the face of competition from the PlayStation 2, and Sega's hardware business was facing imminent closure. The uncertainty around the Dreamcast's future created additional pressure on Sonic Team to deliver a game that could help boost the console's sales. Unfortunately, despite Sonic Adventure 2 being critically acclaimed, it wasn't enough to save the Dreamcast, which was discontinued shortly after the game's release. Sonic Adventure 2 was one of the top-selling titles on the Dreamcast, selling around 1.2 million copies worldwide. While this was a solid number for the platform, the Dreamcast's limited install base due to its early discontinuation capped the game's initial sales potential. Despite being released in June 2001, the game was one of the last major releases on the Dreamcast, which struggled against competitors like Sony's PlayStation 2 and the upcoming Xbox and GameCube. In later years, Sonic Adventure 2 was re-released on various digital platforms, including Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, and Steam. These releases further contributed to its sales and allowed it to reach a new generation of players. The remastered version for digital platforms, released in 2012, added achievements and trophies, further extending the game's lifespan. Although specific sales figures for these digital releases aren't widely reported, the game continued to perform well, adding to its overall lifetime sales. Combined, the Dreamcast and GameCube versions, along with digital re-releases, helped Sonic Adventure 2 become one of the most successful Sonic titles from the 3D era. Its total sales likely exceed 3 million copies, making it a strong performer in the Sonic franchise, especially for a game originally released on a failing console.
Yes!
Spider Troop Bigfoot reporting to headquarters. Intruder has been located.
Copy that.
Sonic Adventure 2 was the first mainline Sonic game to feature Eggman as Dr. Robotnik's primary name in all regions. Previously, Western releases referred to the character as Dr. Robotnik, while Japan called him Eggman. This game unified the naming, and Eggman has been his official name worldwide ever since. Sonic's rail grinding ability in Sonic Adventure 2 is inspired by Soap Shoes, a real brand of shoes with grind plates for sliding on rails. To promote the game, Sega partnered with Soap Shoes, and Sonic's in-game design was modified to show him wearing soap shoes, marking one of the few times his footwear changed. In the original storyline concept, Shadow the Hedgehog was intended to be a one-time character who died at the end of the game. However, his popularity was so overwhelming that Sega decided to bring him back in later games, starting with Sonic Heroes in 2003. This led to Shadow becoming a recurring character and even getting his own spin-off game, Shadow the Hedgehog. Players frequently reported collision detection issues, especially in speed-based stages. Characters like Sonic or Shadow could sometimes clip through walls or floors, causing unintended deaths or falls. This was most noticeable when moving at high speeds, where the game's physics could sometimes fail to register obstacles or platforms properly. In mech stages with Tails and Dr. Eggman, there were also occasional glitches where characters could get stuck on objects or terrain, interrupting the flow of gameplay. There were rare reports of save file corruption on the Dreamcast version. Some players found that their game files would become corrupted after extended play, especially when using multiple memory cards, VMU. This issue, though not widespread, was devastating for players who had invested significant time into the Chow Garden or completing all missions.
What?
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on. The military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald? Say something, you fake hedgehog!
Chaos Control!
He's fast! Hey, it's not his speed. He must be using the Chaos Emerald to warp.
Shadow. I'm the world's ultimate life form. There's no time for games. Farewell.
Shadow, what is it?
it go! You just don't know when to give up, do you?
What are you talking about? That emerald's mine. You got that? The Master Emerald contains special powers that neutralize the energy of the Chaos Emeralds. That makes it very powerful.
What the?
What? Thief?
Look who's calling who a thief.
I came here following the signal from the Emerald. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Master Emerald, is it not?
Dr. Eggman.
So that's Dr. Egg.
Well, I guess I can use it for something. I'll just take it with me. Farewell, knucklehead.
Not if I can help it.
What?
Ah! What was that all about? And look what you did to my emerald!
I did that to prevent the Master Emerald from being stolen, you idiot. If it's in pieces, I can restore it. And by the way, that's not your emerald.
Doesn't matter. I'll look into it once I get back to the base.